Good morning, students. In continuation, we will see the one more important property of transition elements, complex formation. After that, formation of the interstitial compounds, catalytic properties, and formation of halide. We will see those important properties. After that, we will move into the dark elements. Complex formation. What is the meaning of complex formation? Okay, first we will see the complex formation. After that, we will see the why transition element form the complexes. Okay, here complex means it is coordinate covalent complex. Coordinate covalent complex. This coordinate covalent complex indicated with square bracket. Here, coordinate covalent complex formed by the bonding between coordinate covalent bonding between metal ion. This is the metal ion. This is transition element. From the ligands. What is the meaning of ligand? Okay, the group or atom which has capability to donate one electron pair, we call as ligands. The group or atom which has capability to donate one electron pair, we call as ligand. Okay, if any ligand donate one electron pair, we called monodentate ligands. Mono means one, dentate means donation of electrons. We called monodentate ligands. These monodentate ligands again classified into three types: positive monodentate ligands, negative monodentate ligands, neutral monodentate ligands. Example for positive is the NO plus nitrosyl ion. Negative means chloride, bromide, iodide, all these fluoride. Neutral means water, ammonia. Over here, these has capability to donate one electron pair, so we call as monodentate ligands. One more is the second one, bidentate ligands. Okay, bidentate ligands. Bidentate ligand means donate two electron pairs or two negative charges. Okay, the element or atom molecule which has capable to donate two electron pairs or carries two negative charges, we called as bidentate ligands. Okay, example for this one, oxalato is a negative. This is we called as oxalato. Two negative charges, so we donate two electron pairs. Okay, ethylene diamine, this one. It has capable to donate two electron pairs. This is also one of the bidentate ligand. This is we called ethylene diamine. It represents with En. Okay, this is also one of the important ligand. In continuation, for addition, we will see complete ligand. Just I will do the polydentate ligands. Polydentate ligands means having capable to donate more than three or more than three. Okay, more than three pair of electrons. Okay, lone pair of electrons we called as polydentate ligand. Example for this EVTA, ethylene diamine tetra acetic acid. Ethylene means you write ethylene here, diamine tetra acetic acid means CH2COOH, 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 CH2COOH. It is tetraacetic acid. Actual ligand is tetraacetate. Tetraacetate is the ligand. Okay, here if you remove hydrogen here, carries negative charge. Here remove hydrogen, negative charge. Here remove hydrogen, negative charge. Here remove hydrogen, negative charge. Here lone pair of electron. Here lone pair of electron. Okay, it donates 4 electrons by the 4 negative charges. Along with the lone pair also acts as, that's why it lone pair electron also donates towards the metal ion. That's why it is we called as tetra. By negative charges we call it tetra. Negative charges plus 2 electron pairs we call hexa. Dentate ligand. Okay, here EDTA is hexadentate ligand, tetradentate ligand. These are we called ions. Okay, we called ligands. Okay, here metal ion. Metal ion means so many metal ions are there. Fe plus 2, Fe plus 3, Cu plus 1, Cu plus 2, Mn plus 2, okay, CO plus 3, okay, Cr plus 3. All these are the metal ions. These metal ions, okay, see here, metal ions accept the electron from ligand. Why these accept the electrons from the ligand? Due to availability of d orbitals. Which d orbitals? Vacant d orbitals. Due to the availability of vacant d orbitals, transition element has capability to form complex. What reason? One reason. One more reason. Okay, here plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. Okay, here plus 3. Different oxidation state. It exhibits variable oxidation state. Variable oxidation state. By exhibiting the variable oxidation state, it has more and more nuclear charge. Due to this high effective nuclear charge, it easily attracts the electrons from ligands. Due to these two reasons, here transition elements have capability to form complexes. Okay, we'll see about the complexes. Just we'll see about the complexes. How complex is formed here. Okay, metal ion ligand donate the 1 electron pair towards the metal ion and form the coordinate covalent bond. This we called as complex compound. Okay, this we called complex sphere. Outside we called as external complex sphere. Inner sphere, outer sphere. This is in inner sphere. Here we have some elements. Here also we have some elements. We call outer sphere. And this outer sphere also called as ionic sphere. Okay, these outer spheres are we called as ionic spheres. Okay, here inner sphere or complex sphere. This is we called as inner sphere or complex sphere. Okay, see the example for some of the complex compounds. See some of the important examples for complex compounds. Here carbon monoxide also one of the neutral ligand. Nickel tetracarbonyl. This is the one complex compound. Okay, here I am writing the IUPAC names. First I will write the IUPAC names, the common names. First I will write common name in IUPAC. We will see the quantitation chemistry. called nickel, carbon monoxide sulfur there, so tetracarbonyl. For example, okay, see NH3 taken 6 times, here plus 3. Hexaamine cobalt plus 3. Hexaamine cobalt 3. Cobalt 3. We wrote in 3 Roman letters within the brackets. Then in continuation we take CrCl6 minus 3. It is also one of the complex compound. Hexachlorochromate 3 complex, 3 ion, here 0 complex. Okay, these are the important examples for the so many complexes are there. We will see those complexes in examination in coordination chemistry. Okay, why coordinate? Why transition element forms coordinate covalent complexes? What is coordinate covalent complex? This is the reason for the, already we saw the reasons. Due to the high effective nuclear charge and due to the availability of vacant d orbitals. Due to this, okay, transition element form capability to form complexes. Then in continuation, we see the one more property, formation of alloys. What are alloys? The solid solutions are also called alloys. Solid solutions are called alloys. Formation of alloys. One metal is mixed with another metal. Okay, liquid state at high temperature forms here mixed metals. Okay, forms here mixed metal and form the solid we call as MM mixed metal alloy. These are simply called as solid solutions. Okay, here we are taking two different solids, different metals, and we heat up to maximum temperature, melting temperature, and here we get the one of the homogeneous liquid that we call solid solution. The solid solutions are also called as alloys. Solid solutions are called as alloys. Why transition element forms alloys? Due to similar atomic size. Due to similar atomic size of two transition elements. Due to similar atomic size of two transition elements forms alloy. So many examples are there for the alloy. Zinc mercury, it is alloy we called amalgams. Zinc mercury amalgams. Okay, bronze is there, brass, bell metal, okay, gun metal, steel. Okay, all these are the best example for alloys. Best example for the alloys. Then one more important property, formation of interstitial compounds. Here two elements are having same size, so forms transition elements forms alloys. But here interstitial compounds We have the one metal, one element has more size, one element has very small size. Okay, how these type of compounds are formed, we'll see. These interstitial compounds are all non-stoichiometric compounds. Non-stoichiometric compounds mean not having the perfect formula. How these compounds are formed? All these interstitial compounds are formed. Over here, I am drawing here metallic lattice. Okay, lattice structure of a metal. Any metal. This is mixed with hydrogen or oxygen. Okay, nitrogen or boron. Hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, boron or carbon. What happened? The size of hydrogen is very less compared to these metals. When you are heating these two, this hydrogen, due to the very large difference in atomic size, this hydrogen not reacts with the metal. This hydrogen trapped into the metallic lattice. This is we called interstitial space. This space we called as interstitial space. By the trapping of this hydrogen and nitrogen into interstitial space of metal lattice or lattice structure of metal and form the compounds. Such compounds we call as interstitial compounds. See, in this space, hydrogen held by the metallic attraction forces. All metallic attraction forces are weak forces. If you heat, hydrogen will come outside. Okay, this we called as non-stoichiometric molecules. Example for this, for example, Fe3H. Okay, Ni H0.7. Okay, here titanium. Okay, 1.7. Okay, cobalt H2. These are the interstitial compounds. These are the best example for interstitial compound. Okay, here this is absorbed like, okay, this is complete to our home. This is the one place of guest. This is the host, this is the guest. Hydrogen is the guest. Here hydrogen acts as a guest. So this we call as host guest molecules. Host guest molecules. And these are also called, yes, this is absorbed like, this metallic lattice absorbed like a cage, and hydrogen absorbed like a parrot. Hydrogen or oxygen, all those absorb like a parrot. So such type of molecules are also called cage compounds. Cage compounds. Okay, the stability of these cage compounds is very less. Melting points and boiling points are very high. Okay, this is about the just formation of the interstitial compounds. Next in continuation, we will see the catalytic properties of transition elements. Is the last property, specific property of catalytic properties. Catalytic properties of transition element. What is the meaning of catalyst? What is the meaning of catalyst? The group or atom which can increases the activation energy of reactants we called catalyst. And one of the important property of catalyst never involves in the reaction. Just it increases the activation energy of reactants. Okay, that phenomenon we called as catalysis. Here, so many transition elements acts as a good catalyst. Transition elements. Okay, some of the transition elements acts as a oxidizing agents. Some of the transition elements acts as a reducing agent. Different properties shows oxidizing agent, different reducing agent shows different properties. Why these transition elements shows catalytic property? In examination point of view, they will ask a question: why transition element shows catalytic properties? Due to some reasons. Okay, here I am writing reasons. First one, due to variable oxidation state. Variable oxidation state. Second important property, having finely divided surface area. Finely divided surface area and availability of vacant d orbitals. Vacant or completely filled d orbitals. Completely d orbitals. And here having less activation energy. Due to less activation energy of these d transition elements has capability to exhibit catalytic property. These are the reasons for the expecting catalytic property from the transition elements. See what some of the examples. Transition element. Transition element. Here I am writing property. Okay, where it acts as a reagent. Nickel, Raney nickel. Here I will give some of the important examples. Raney nickel, it is used in reduction. Okay, reduction of oils and converting into fats. Okay, normal oil converting into vanaspati dana. We use Raney nickel. Copper, it is used in dehydrogenation reaction. Iron, okay, it is a finely divided iron. It is a good catalyst. It is used in Haber process. During the preparation of ammonia. Platinum, vanadium pentoxide. It is used in contact process. Preparation of sulfuric acid. Okay, here platinum individually used for the preparation of nitric acid by the Ostwald process. Preparation of nitric acid. Not only this, chromium trioxide, chromic acid, potassium dichromate, potassium permanganate, osmium tetroxide, selenium dioxide, titanium dioxide. Not only this, cobalt tetracarbonate. This is used in Huxow process. Palladium chloride. This is used in Walker process. All these are the catalysts used in. All these are the transition element catalysts. See here, copper iron, platinum, vanadium oxide contain vanadium, chromium trioxide, chromium, manganese, osmium, selenium, titanium, cobalt, here palladium. All these are Okay, all these are the transition elements. All these exhibit the catalytic properties. Okay, what is the catalytic property? The element or group, the group or element which shows the okay, catalytic property, okay, which not involves in the reaction and which increases the activation energy, we called as catalyst. These are the important specific properties of transition elements. Next in continuation, in this topic, F-block elements are there. Just we'll see the introduction of F-block elements. Introduction of F-block elements. What are the F-block elements? If the differentiating electron present in n-2 F orbital. If differentiating electron present in n-2 F orbital, we call as F-block elements. The general electronic configuration of F-block elements already I gave. Okay, I am giving unknown. General electronic configuration of F-block elements. See here, n-2 F 1 to 14, n-1 D. Okay, 1 or 2 or 0 or 1, 1 or 2, sometimes in some books it 1 or 2 is there. Okay, here NS 1 or 2. This is the general electronic configuration of F-block elements. Okay, here these F-block elements arranged in periodic table, bottom of the periodic, arranged in bottom of the periodic table. In two series. One is 4F series and second one is 5F series. 4F series elements, 5F series elements. 4F series start after the lanthanum. So these are called lanthanides. They are lanthanones. Lanthanones. Where it start? After the lanthanum atomic number 57. After the 57, cerium 58. Cerium 58 to lutetium 71. These 14 elements are called as lanthanides. Okay, the general electronic configuration of lanthanide is, instead of n-2, write 4F 1 to 14. Okay, here 5D, 0 or 1 or 1 or 2. Okay, here 6S, 1 or 2. This is the general electronic configuration of lanthanides. Okay, these are the first inner transition elements. That means these F-block elements are also called as inner transition elements. These are man-made elements, artificial elements, heavy elements. And most of the F-block elements are radioactive elements. Lifetime of these F-block elements is less compared to the other elements. So we know, that's why we know only few properties of F-block elements. Don't have the much properties of F-block elements. Next we see the 5F series. These called second inner transition elements. First inner transition element, second inner transition element. These are called actinides or actinones. Okay, after actinium 89, this series will start. So 90 atomic number belongs to thorium. Thorium 92, lawrencium 103. Thorium 92, lawrencium 103. These 14 elements belongs to 5F series. This we second inner transition elements. The general electronic configuration of this one 5F 1 to 14. Over here 6D 0 0 or 1 7S 1 or 2. This is the general electronic configuration of here second inner transition element 5F series elements. Next, in continuation, electronic configuration, properties of lanthanide, and what is the lanthanide contraction. That is one of the important topic in this. What are the consequences for the lanthanide contraction, and what are the reasons for the lanthanide contraction. We'll see the topic in next video. Thank you.